Staying fit after 40 is easier than you think. And in this video, I'm going to share my top 10 game-changing tips with you after years of experience and working with hundreds of over 40s, 50s, and 60s. But before we get started, if you're over 40 and you want more strength, more muscle, and less fat without going to the gym twice as fast, then check out the Kettlebell Code ebook in the first link in the description. It's 100% free. Grüezi miteinander, Gregory von Lebe Stark here. Let's jump right into these 10 tips that over 40s need to know in order to harness and master their fitness. Number 1, you need to have a strong and well-defined purpose. This can be your family, your job, your business, or even a friend. We call this a deep-seated anchor, also known as a goal with gravity, because a purpose serves like a beacon of light alongside your journey. Getting fit after 40 is easy, but you will encounter some roadblocks. And once you encounter these roadblocks, you need a strong goal with gravity to keep you going. Number 2, search for a successful person or coach that has achieved what you want to achieve or that has helped people who want to achieve what you want to achieve. In only a few short years, we were able to take the kettlebell world by storm. In 2020, nobody knew who I was. 4 years later, I'm recognized as a legitimate kettlebell expert. How did I do this? By following the words of my sensei, Steve Cotter. He was my role model in the world of kettlebells. The way he teaches, the way he's able to articulate himself, and the way he understands the kettlebell was so instrumental and served as a huge inspiration for this young coach that started in 2019 as a kettlebell trainer. Because in order to achieve it, you have to see it. And a mentor can help you recalibrate your vision. And that leads me to point number 3. Visualize your goal. I want to share another experience from one of our clients. Her name is Monica, aka Nikki. Monica is over 50 and she started with us in January of 2024. As we were getting started with our coaching, I told her to not only visualize her goal, but also write it down. She set herself a calendar appointment that said, on this day, I want to have this weight. Now check out her experience and the recent message she sent me on WhatsApp. Good morning, weight goal achieved. 62 kg on a scale reached. Celebrating emoji, boom, bang. Target date was the 20th of June. Now I will continue with focus on a body recomposition, less fat percentage, and maintaining muscle mass. Number 4, count failures as experience and not as an error. Muscle soreness, aches, and pains are unfortunately normal. You have to experience some discomfort in order for you to grow. Now, many people take these signals as a reason to quit. And I do understand where these people come from. If you overexert yourself, you might run the risk of experiencing days of muscle soreness. If you go out for a run and you haven't been active for the last couple of years, or if you've been sedentary for all of your life, your body will react adversely. And this might throw you off track. Now, there's 2 solutions to this problem. Number 1, you have to overcome this discomfort. And number 2, you have to use a particular training tool that can avoid or at least lessen the effect of muscle soreness, aches, and pains. And that leads me to point number 5. Plan your strategy. Enter the kettlebell. I believe the kettlebell is one of the best training tools on planet Earth. We have seen, not only from experience, but also from raw data, that over 40s, 50s, and 60s gravitate towards kettlebell training. If you're over 40, 50, or 60, you don't have a lot of time. Many priorities tug on yourself throughout the whole day. Family, business, responsibility, aging parents, you name it. Stress levels are high, and you know that you have to take care of your fitness if you want to survive this great chaos of life that we experience as we grow a little bit older. The kettlebell is such a powerful tool because it gives you a lot of bang for your buck. You can get a lot done in a very short amount of time. You can take care of your flexibility, your mobility, your strength, your muscle mass. It increases the fat burning potential. You only need one kettlebell that replaces the whole gym. You only need a couple of exercises to take care of the full body. You get such a huge return on investment. Hence, many people who are a little bit older and who have a lot of stuff on their plate gravitate towards kettlebell training. In order to master the kettlebell, you always want to follow the KISS principle. Keep it simple, stupid. For example, a deadlift, a squat, and a press are powerful exercises that you can use to get started. Why not even toss a farmer's walk in there? Also, a powerful exercise that can give you a lot of bang for your buck and doesn't require a lot of skill. Once you master the kettlebell to a certain extent, you can jump into a kettlebell hand-to-hand swing. I believe the hand-to-hand swing is one of the best exercises to open up the posterior chain. And if you're a man over 40, men especially, we lack the mobility in our posterior chain. We're tight in that area. And maybe you, as a woman over 40, suffer from the same problem. We sit on our desk all day, hence our strongest muscles in the body weaken and we get tight. If we want to loosen that area up, plus strengthen our strongest muscles in the body, the hand-to-hand swing is one of the best exercises that you can do. We have lots of workouts on the YouTube channel if you want to follow along, such as this one, which is an easy and simple and powerful kettlebell workout that beginners can use, and it only takes you 15 minutes to complete. If you want to take it to the next level, you can check out Kettlebell Plus. This is our membership. You can get started for only $1. It has hundreds of follow-along workouts, skill lessons, tutorials, and you find the link in the description. Number 6, once you understand what kind of training tool you want to use, you have to organize a schedule. And now you might be delighted to hear what I have to share with you right now, and that is you don't have to train every day. If you are over 40, you have to take care of your family, you're still working, you have a business, you have a job, you have lots of priorities that tug on your time, then you need to find a concept where you can fit fitness into your everyday life and not the other way around. So for these types of people, training every day might be detrimental. So here's the key. Train only once or twice a week. Now you might be telling me, but Gregory, that sounds like it's not enough. Let me follow up with this one. Train once or twice a week forever. Longevity has to do with doing the proper habits forever, and not just for a couple of weeks or months. Because if you want to improve your health, you have to do it on a continuous basis. So if you train once or twice for the full year, that maybe ends up with 40, 50, or 60 workouts. This is how you build your house. Many people train 7 days a week for the next 3 weeks, especially in January. And then they're so burned up that they have to quit. And then they don't train at all for the rest of the year. So you tell me, what makes more sense? Using the longevity approach with 1 workout per week for the full year, or training every day for 3 weeks and then quit? Number 7, acquire the essential knowledge to understand and harness the power of the kettlebell. If you want to understand how the kettlebell really works, this is an important key. And I'm going to give you a couple of points that you must understand. The kettlebell is not like your typical gym training, where you have 8 machines that you do for 1 set or 2 sets each, and then rest in between sets, and then try to go to full exhaustion, burn yourself out, and then you step on a treadmill for the remaining 20 minutes, which leads to a workout that takes you about 1 hour or maybe even 90 minutes to complete. You pick up the kettlebell, you take it for a spin, and rest is overrated. So you want to train as long as you can and only put the kettlebell down if you really need to rest. And then you rest a little bit. We always say rest according to your perceived exertion, but I also want to follow up with rest as briefly as possible. Now, this doesn't mean that you have to kill yourself. The idea is that you, for example, do swing, clean and press, squat, and press for 1 minute each. This leaves you with 4 minutes of work, and you don't want to put the kettlebell down if you don't have to. And then you rest a little bit, maybe 1 minute. This is 1 round, and you do 3 to 4 rounds. The strength endurance part of the kettlebell is where this training tool shines the most. And that's the reason why I can give you so much bang for your buck. So stop thinking in training for a couple of reps and then rest for 1 minute and then go back at it again. That's the typical bodybuilding type of approach. The kettlebell is different. Take it for a spin and hold it up in the air as long as you can. Number 8, be patient. Do not be intimidated by time. Once you start picking up the kettlebell, you will experience a learning curve. That is normal. You don't have to be intimidated by it. Just keep practicing, keep working with it, and you'll understand and learn the important skills that you need to master the kettlebell. Now, of course, it maybe makes sense to talk to a coach to get a shortcut to the proper skills, but the idea is just put in the reps. You don't hurt yourself if you use light weights that doesn't exceed your body's capacity, even if your technique isn't perfect. Many people make the mistake that they focus on the results instead of the habits. And what this leaves you with is if the results don't show up quickly, you'll stop doing the habits. Instead, turn it around. Focus on the habits and the results will follow. Number 9, be persistent. Consistency is the second key to success that my mentor Dan John has shared with me. He says the following: the key to success is twofold. Number 1, you have to start doing. Number 2, you have to keep going. That's the reason why I want to give you a program with that training once a week for the full year that is sustainable. You just have to be consistent in order to see the results. So don't focus on mastering technique too much. Just focus on that 1 or 2 workouts per week for the full year. And I guarantee you will see and feel results. Number 10, develop an enthusiasm. Now, everything that I've just shared with you will be wasted potential if you don't enjoy what you are doing. Our experience shows that many people develop an enthusiasm for kettlebells once they start working with it. And here is the key. You have to enjoy it if you want to stick with it. The higher the enjoyment, the higher the chances are that you are developing a sustainable practice. Here's the next thing that you have to do. Clean and press that like and subscribe button. Share with a friend who's also interested in kettlebells. And if you made it this far, download our free ebook called The Kettlebell Code in the first link in the description. Listen, if you're over 40, 50, or 60, you don't have a lot of time, but you still want to take care of your fitness. That's why I believe the kettlebell shines the most. So if you want to learn more about this powerful tool, download our free ebook called The Kettlebell Code in the first link in the description. 100% free.